All right, here we are. It is Monday, September 15th, and this is going to be a short one, but I'm going to start coming on um, Monday and Wednesday right now. But we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna probably just end up doing 5 days a week. Let me clear my screen real quick. We got a lot going on here. I hope everyone can hear me. Um, on Rumble, Getter, X, and the new YouTube channel that has no subscribers. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube, it's Inspector Inspector Web on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. We got hammered from all the times that we were doing stuff on COVID and different things back in 2021 to all that, and so I took so many hits. They basically just nuked my channel, so I was not able to keep it going. So we started a new channel on YouTube, Inspector Web, two B's. um, we've been doing a little bit of some investigations, looking around, seeing what we can find out. We found a few more things that we're going to just add to our story yesterday. If you have not seen, um, if you have not seen the show from last night, let me make sure that you can hear me, because I don't like talking to I'll talk to myself, no problem, but I'd rather talk to my audience. So let me just make sure I have sound, and then we'll get to it here. Just give me a second. Um, yeah, so we're good. So, okay, we're good. So, all right, here we go. So, a new system. For those of you that don't know, I have a new system. So, I'm just working out the bugs, all this stuff. I'm a one man show. Been working with a few people to get some information. Um, but for right now, I'm going to just run this. I'm going to run this clip real quick and just get reset. This is just a Charlie Kirk. Actually, is that the one I'm going to do first? Let me see. Yeah, let's run it. Stand by.
America's heart was ripped open at Utah Valley University, where Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old firebrand of Turning Point, USA, was gunned down in a cold-blooded sniper attack at 12:20 p.m. Mountain Time. A single high-powered rifle shot tore through Kirk's neck from roughly 150 yards, from what appears to be a shooter on the Lossy Center building.
So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in. Now he's right there.
A husband and father of two, a man who deeply loved a country that had rewarded him the providence his work deserved, was pronounced dead. There are reports that he died almost immediately after being shot. As the nation grieved, the Democrats feasted on the tragedy like a pack of hyenas.
Political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country, and I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it.
The chair would ask that all members present in the chamber and those in the gallery please rise for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family. Let's wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh.
While many Americans immediately confronted the elephant in the room and pointed a finger at cowardly color revolution, radicalization, mind control operations like MSNBC, who before we even knew if Charlie had survived, painted Charlie as an existential threat, gaslighting the country into believing Kirk's rhetoric was responsible for his own death, when in fact it was their own rhetoric that got us here. A clear display of broadcasted domestic terrorism, which is defined as violent criminal acts committed by individuals and or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influences, such as those of a political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
Obviously, there's a lot of rhetoric that is problematic. A lot of it is coming from one particular side and from one particular building. But what can be done? I fear when this is an escalation already in less than 24 hours of this shooting.
Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation, disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence?
I say both parties.
Only Republicans, only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides.
The solution, Mr. President? Reinstate the Smith-Munn Act and enforce it. Obama's army of propagandists will fall. The shooter still remains at large after the initial suspect, who bizarrely declared was released, although authorities claim to have held another suspect. Were they just decoys to allow the real shooter to flee? And who is this person being arrested wearing black pants while a rifle is clearly confiscated? Stephen Crowder received an email from an ATF officer detailing a recovered older imported Mauser 30-06 bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a nearby wooded area along the suspect's escape route, containing a spent cartridge and 3 unspent rounds engraved with transgender and anti-fascist messages. Kirk had reportedly been talking about transgender issues right before he was shot.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled.
Was this a solo fanatic, radicalized by years of media-fueled hatred? Or did Kirk's words rattle the agents of foreign and/or domestic terror?
Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand-down order?
The stench of evil is thick. Kirk's death isn't just a tragedy. It's a warning shot to a nation fighting to reclaim its soul. Know this, liberty will never die, and the spirit of Charlie Kirk will now rise within millions of young Americans who will never forget the example he left to us all. John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
All right, here we are. So, all right, so we're going to get into this. You know, so I've looked up, down, side to side, all the different things, and it's pretty clear at this point. And I'll just say this, just like I said last night or Saturday night. All that I'm doing is showing the information. I'm not making a decision on what I think has happened, except for this. I'll say this. There's definitely a cover-up going on of some sort. What it is, I don't know. There's lots of conspiracy theories. We're not going to get into that stuff. There's lots of theories about different types of shooters at different locations. It's pretty clear that, and I'm just saying this from what I've seen, it doesn't look. It really is becoming harder and harder to believe that that shot came from the rooftop all the way across the across the courtyard, 175 yards or whatever it was. Right? It just is. It looks like the shot's coming from the right. I'm just saying that I'm not making any claims right now. Not until. Because, it takes time for all this stuff to get together and everybody to get their, figure out all the different angles and see what it is. But I'm going to show you a couple clips that kind of backs it up. And I'm just letting you know what I'm reporting on, whether I'm right or wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that, the the FBI and local police and all that stuff is doing a great job, and they're telling you the truth, and this is all but there's just so many things that has happened with this that were like too fast for me for me, like I don't know, those people in that courtyard right after, within like an hour of the shooting, there's no yellow tape, there's so many things that's just, I don't know, right? It looks interesting. That's what I'll say. I'll leave it there. So I'll leave that part there for right now. Now, there's this clip, a couple of them. Um, um, there's one person that says the shooter was right on the other side of the barricade, directly to Charlie's left. That shot with a palm gun, palm pistol, whatever, a hidden palm pistol. I'm going to show you that clip right now. There's also some talking about, continuing to talk about from the right, and a person, made an assumption of like the trajectory of the bullet and all that stuff. I'm going to show you that, and we're just going to kind of. I'm making no claims. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just showing you the information, and we're going to give it a minute, and then we're gonna start looking at like what the truth is, because I don't want to make any false claims right now, because I could get off on the rabbit hole with everybody that's talking about all this stuff. But what I will say is there's a few things that seems odd to me. Anytime, and this is from like I did talk to an examiner friend of mine, and I've talked to a mortician that does, not a mortician. He goes into, after people die, and organ donors, and they get body parts and stuff like that. Talked to him and asked him about the jaundice color. Says that's pretty common. So I'm like, okay, put that to the side. I put that to the side. Talked to an examiner that said that it's very rare that when there's a shooting, or a killing, and uh, it goes to the more, just like boom, 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 in a casket in like a day or two. It's very uncommon. Now, I'm not saying that that's not the truth. There's just a lot of things that don't make sense. I also got to say I've never seen a private citizen get a ride from Air Force Two. But hey, we're just going to leave that right there. Nobody's talking about that. That needs to be talked about. That's something else. We'll deal with that later. What I'm talking about right now is these couple clips that I have. One um, is, well, there's three. One, two. I'm going to show you the possible shooter that we talked about the other day, so I can kind of line this up for you. But first, I'm going to show you this 1 minute clip about the palm shooter thing, and then I'm going to show you what that gun is with a quick YouTube video, just to get all wrapped up in a bow. And I don't know. I'm just going to show you. That's all I can do. I can just show you what I'm running into and what I'm seeing, and what all the different theories are. Okay, all right. So stand by. Listen to this.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Now it's kind of grainy, so I can't really see what the caption is on this, where they're saying that it's between his fingers. I can't see that. Maybe my resolution's not good enough, or maybe this video's been moved around so much that it's starting to pixelate and get harder and harder to see. I don't know, but I'm just showing you this, and I'm going to show you this guy walking away with the guy that got the dude that was saying shoot me, who's right behind him walking, and I don't know what that really means, but I'm going to show you this. I'm going to let it play through. It's almost done. There it goes. It's done. Then I'm going to show you this this picture. Stand by. Find the picture. I was doing this so fast that I didn't have time to label a couple of these. So just bear with me for a second, and I'll find what I'm looking for. It's going to be right here. Okay, this is just a still picture, but you see the guy behind him is the guy that was, let me pull it back up. Sorry. This guy right here looks like, and it's a rear shot, so I don't know, but remember the dude that they had handcuffed or taking him off, and he's saying shoot me. That kind of looks like him. I don't know for sure. But this person's got blood. Is this them carrying Charlie? I don't know. That looks like blood on somebody's hand right here. But this is the dude in that picture in front, and they're saying that this right here is that pistol pocket, palm pistol, whatever. That's what it looks like. And I'm just, making no assumptions. I'm just showing you the information that I have here. All right. Now, I'm going to show you this other one. We're gonna leave that right there for now. I just got this an hour ago. I'm just kind of looking at it, so we're gonna move on from that. But I'm going to show you the possible where they're saying that the possible shooter is another, like a cell phone. Hold on, before I do that, let me do this. Hold on, let me bring myself back up here for a minute and go in here real quick and pull. I'm gonna pull something up here real quick. Where is it at? Oh shit, it's gone. All right, maybe I'm not going to pull the YouTube one. I don't see it. Let me see. There it is. All right, so let me start this guy over, and I'll bring you back in. This is the thing now. This doesn't. I don't know that this really goes with it for the simple fact that it looks like he uses his arm to do that. And I don't know. This is all theory. Again,
This strange gun saved lives in the early 19th century. Known as the Protector Palm Pistol, it was specifically designed for seafarers and mariners as a self-defense tool during shipwrecks, when quick access to survival equipment was critical, while a 6-round magazine further enhanced its practicality, allowing for rapid reloading. This strange gun saved lives in the early 19th century. Known as the Protector.
All right, so we got that. So we're going to move on from this one. I'm going to just leave this here for right now. Check this out.
Right there.
The picture's gotten really grainy since.
Right there. Right there. Watch the shooter. That's the shooter. Right there.
His shirt went up and everything.
Hold on. Gave you the wrong one. Where's my guy at? Let's see, where's it at? Shit. There it is.
The person that shot Charlie, right here, with the white T-shirt and what seems to be a cell phone and perhaps keys on his hands. This explains also why he went sideways when he got shot He wasn't shot from a long distance. If it was a high-powered rifle, which, by the way, that's what the FBI is telling everyone. And when the FBI tells you something, guess what? That's not the truth. So that means they're involved in this. That's why when people were like, you should share this with those people. I'm not. This is the first thing I want to share with you guys. This guy in white and that woman that's next to him, those two people are involved and they have something to do. Like, they're both related. They're definitely doing it. And I'm going to show you when he shoots that thing. This is why on the thumbnail you'll see, and this is what I want to show you next. This is what I want to show you next. So I'm going to go into this. So this right here, it says a hidden gun. This is from 9 years ago. American company creates lethal weapon in the form of a smartphone. Okay? This is what the dude is using. This is why, and he's got a silencer too. This is why no one understands that he's this dude. All right? So that's that basically. What happens when I close these windows? Telling everybody that it's a high-powered bolt-action rifle. If it was a high-powered rifle, dude, that dude would have had a massive hole in his neck. Massive. Anyone that hunts or anyone that shot anything from a long distance with a big rifle knows what I'm saying. And also, the FBI never tells you the truth. I don't know if you guys know this. The FBI doesn't work for you. Okay? So there's that. 1 second. I'm going to close this window. What happens when I close? That dude right next to the girl. You guys see them, right? Right here. That dude is the one that shoots, and this is the girl that's with him. Now, there's two people here on the actual inside of Charlie's security, and those two people are giving signs to others. And a lot of people think those are the people who shot. Nah, it was this dude right here, and this woman's with him as an accomplice. And you're going to see why when you see the video, okay? So there you go. You already saw it. Now I'm going to share this one. Yeah. Okay. So close that. Share screen. Again, one more time, I'm sorry. And then I'll show you the videos. So I showed you at the beginning this. I don't want to show it again. I want you to understand this. He's shot from this side. This dude is what shoots him. And that's why the hole goes like this and Charlie goes like this. And it's not a high-powered rifle. It's a shot from a close distance. This thing has it looks like a phone. But what I'm guessing too, because it's crazy when you see the dude shooting, and I'm going to show you the videos right now. When you see the dude shooting the thing, there's no way a person with just a gun can shoot like so. And by the way, he misses at first. There's no way a person that's there can just aim without looking through anything and just like get it perfectly done. I'm pretty sure that phone has a screen that is showing where exactly to shoot. So the bullet came, again, this woman and this guy. These are the two people giving the signs. The ones that everyone, right here. These are this guy and then the guy next to him and then this guy that's giving his back. These people are giving signs to that person and you'll see it on the video. This is the person that shoots. And it shoots this way, and the bullet, what you're seeing, it's coming out of his neck. Okay, so I'm going to get into the videos now. I did not monetize this video to make sure that this was not going to get fucked. Now, in here, everyone is using this video to blame these guys and this guy. This guy. Look at him and look at this woman. That's the one that gets the shot done, okay? I'm going to make myself even smaller so that you can see more. I'm going to play it. And
so, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Puts it down.
Too many.
Then brings it up again. Talks to someone. He gets a signal. He's going to pull out the phone again. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
What? You see how he... Did you guys see that? He tried at first and missed. Watch these hands.
Violence.
Great. That's perfect trajectory for the fucking bullet. I hate that. Watch him again.
10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence.
Boom, boom, misses. Then he gets him. And you see how he reacts when he gets him too. Like he jumps. When he finally gets him, he jumps. Look at him.
Not counting gang violence.
He missed it. Shot instantly. The woman is there to cover exactly that phone, that it's a weapon. Let me share just my face, and here we go. So they're there. Those dudes are making the signs. They're trying to make it look like this is him.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
You see how you guys see the trajectory of the bullet, right?
Gang violence.
Side, boom. It's doing this. It's doing this.
All right, now hold on. Let me play this other one. Hold on, stand by.
Great. 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 Great.
Sorry,
so I really want you to pay attention to this. On Charlie Kirk shooting, you see him right there? That's him debating with somebody here right before he gets shot. Right here. He got shot from his right-hand side, on that side, coming out here. See the wall there? Right next to him, his people, and another wall. I'm going to make this make sense in a second.
Mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
All right, that's right when he gets shot. Right there. He got shot right then. Coming from that side of him, coming to here. Now see the wall? See the bleachers here? You see another wall there. They're saying he got shot from rooftop, which means he would have to be up from here, going down there, because he got shot from that side, coming out here. But I'm going to make something else very trivial. Where they said the shooter was, watch this.
A second later, he was shot in the neck in the middle of the quad, sitting underneath a banner that said the American comeback. We know one round was fired.
Okay, now, from what I just showed you, he's here, facing that direction. That's the wall you were seeing. Those are the bleachers you were seeing. Those are the people you were seeing. He got shot from here going out there. Now they're saying he got shot from a shooter over here, which would make the trajectory basically in his throat, out his back. Impossible. This is a cover-up, people. He was shot from this side, going out that side. I know that. I'm ex-military, guys. I know how a bullet works. And if you saw the canopy in the beginning, you couldn't see the canopy, or sorry, you couldn't see him from the canopy from up here, only from right here. Because the canopy was very low, and if you look, you can only see people up this high. And he was shot from this direction, going out to that direction. They're saying the shooter was there. 100% impossible. If something happens to me, guys, please understand. I'm just trying to uncover this. They're covering it up 1,000%.
All right, so yeah, so there you are. There you have it. I don't, again, I'm not a ballistics expert. I'm not a gun aficionado. I'm just looking at clips, putting it together. Some people are saying no, the dude that shot from the roof is the one that shot him and all that stuff, and they've got all this proof and all this stuff. But there's just so many holes in the whole thing with the supposed kid on the roof and carrying the gun, dropping all that stuff doesn't make sense. Taking it apart, putting it back together, all that stuff. So it makes no sense to me. So we're going to keep looking. We're going to keep digging in. We're going to keep pulling clips. We're going to keep doing this. And I just, a couple days a week during the week, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do a short half-hour show and unload, give you whatever the current events are. Right now, we're covering the shooting. We want to kind of see where if we can, find something that maybe somebody else hasn't seen, or whatever. That's what we're doing here. One of the things that is interesting to me, and I'm attempting to figure out how to say it. Remember when Trump got shot in Butler in the face. Yeah, in the ear, in the face. Uh, it was like within a day, they were out. The FBI was out there on the roof cleaning the roof off. Cover up. This one has the same thing going on, and I don't know what it is yet, but there's a bunch of us, independent media, looking at this and all different angles and all that stuff. And I'm sure that more people are going to get involved in this because this just doesn't make sense. And I want it to. I want it to be exactly what they said it is. And that's why I'm not making no direct judgment on what it is or anything. We're just gonna kind of. I'm trying to. I was telling somebody on a DM. I want to stay like neutral for as long as I can, so I don't have a blind spot. Because hey, maybe there's an explanation for all that. But like Ryan Mata was saying, there's HD cameras every inch of that school or that college. Why don't we have more video? Only thing we have is cell phone video, right? Why was there somebody taking the camera down within like an hour or two of when Charlie got shot? That's right above Charlie. Where's that film? Where's all the film at? Where is it all at? And it's only cell phone. We're only getting grainy cell phone stuff. And I know we got our cell phones now are, super high HD and all that stuff. I get it, but what's going on? Like what is really going on here? Like I did hear Trump say something that there's an investigation going on, but just like Butler, if you clean the area up right after, you kind of tampering with the evidence. There's really no evidence to find, just because some kid's dad brought him in and said, and by the way, it was 27 years. The father that brought this kid in, Tyler Robinson, brought him into the sheriff's office, had been with the sheriff's department for 27 years. But does that change what we're figuring here? Oh, and it's a trans, and it's a this, and it's a that, and then you got like Netanyahu over there talking about we didn't do it, and all these weird things, and Charlie Kirk being freaked out about probably threats from Israel or Mossad or whoever, because he was on all kinds of shows just before this happened. It all just doesn't make sense. Well, it does, but again, I'm staying neutral. I just want to stay in the middle, neutral, and figure it out, kind of get all the different angles of all the stuff that's going on, and then make judgment after I have all that. I mean, it's scary. This is scary. Listen, do they want a civil war? Because that's what they're doing. When they do this stuff and they continue to do this stuff like we're too stupid to know what's going on, like we're too, we're like adolescent 15-year-olds, so we don't need to know anything about what's going on. Listen, we're all out here attempting to figure out how to get our country back in shape and down the right track so our kids can go to school. They just passed a bill in California, AB 495, that anybody can go with a piece of paper with a signature on it with no ID, no proof or anything, just going to get your kid out of the school. Like, what's going on? Like, what are we all stupid? Are we all brain dead? We went to the Capitol, downtown Sacramento, protested, signed a petition, and it was like we just wasted our time because they passed the bill without us even seeing it. This is the kind of stuff that's going on. These politicians have taken over and they're not letting go. It's horrible. It really is. So I pray for this country, man. I pray for this country every night when my boys and I, before bed, and we pray. I always pray for this country and my family and protection and all that stuff because, listen, they are fucking demons, man. They're demons. They're demons. And they killed a good man. Whether you like Charlie Kirk or not, he was a good man, good Christian man. You know what I mean? All that he was doing was waking young men and women up to the tyrannical government, the transgender, the fatherless homes. That's all he was doing. He was just telling the truth, and they killed him for it. A normal person. Now, I don't know. I mean, I didn't even think Charlie was that popular, but come to find out, he was very popular. Look what they've done in all these other countries. They're all protesting, and they got pictures of Charlie Kirk. They're all screaming, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. This is crazy. What's next? What is next? You got liberals all over the media talking about how Trump's next, and December 14th, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. It's like, what's going on here? Why are they allowing this to happen in our country? It's pretty sad what we're dealing with. I got children, man. I just want to live my little happy ass life over here, in the suburbs, and just chill, go to work, and enjoy my life with my family, and have a barbecue on Sunday. And I can't keep my head out of the internet because this shit is crazy. Are you like that? Because if you're like that, then you're right where I'm at. Hit me up in the DMs, or on Twitter, or the comments on Getter, Twitter, Rumble, whatever, and tell me what you think. We have to get a grip on what's going on here. Or are these people out here? I talk to people all the time. They're just waiting for the fucking shoe to drop so they can just start a civil war or something. It's just crazy, man. Do we really want to do that? Do we really want to get involved with some kind of a civil war so we can get our freedom back? Or do we want to get these people that are supposedly in charge, which Kash Patel, it's pretty obvious that he's, taking orders from somewhere else. I don't know. He looks like a deer in the headlights every time I see him at the podium. Anyway, okay. So this is all I got for tonight. I'm gonna play the Smith-Mundt Act on the way out. I think it's a very important, very, very, very important that we work on getting rid of this, where the media, the mainstream, whatever, what do we call it now? Legacy media can just say whatever they want about anything they want, and they get away with it, and it's got to stop. It just needs to come to an end. So as soon as I find the clip here, because again, I came straight from work, came out here after I got done with all the stuff I was doing, just so I can get out here and pull some stuff together to do this, because I made a commitment to be here tonight. So I just want to, I want to do a better job at honoring that when I say I'll be here. So where in the hell is it at? Hold on a second. Let me see. I guess I could have, it's right in front of my face. I need better glasses. All right, stand by.
President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country.
The Smith-Mundt Act was twisted 13 years ago by Manchurian candidate Barack Obama into a tool to foment a color revolution in the United States. Back in 1948, President Harry S. Truman signed the Smith-Mundt Act into law, a Cold War-era move to counter Soviet propaganda with a global charm offensive. The State Department was tasked with painting a picture of the U.S. as the land of the free, sending students, scholars, and professionals overseas to build bridges and showcase our way of life.
The United States is trying to get the Washington view of the crisis to the Iranian people through the voice of America.
But here's the caveat that continues to fly under the radar when it comes to the Smith-Munn Act. The act explicitly banned government-produced materials from being distributed domestically. Why? To protect the American people from being fed state propaganda and to keep the domestic media industry from getting steamrolled by the whims of lobbyists and the madness of politicians. And more importantly, but apparently not a concern at the time, to protect the First Amendment rights and organic consensus from an intelligence department swaying Americans toward total mind control and rapid decline. Truman had signed the National Security Act of 1947 into law, which had also created the CIA. Truman created a monster, but the Smith-Munn Act was a leash, whether they knew it or not. The modernization allowed the State Department and the Broadcasting Board of Governors, now rebranded as the U.S. Agency for Global Media, to make their foreign-targeted materials like videos, audio, and films available inside the U.S. upon request, including through FOIA demands and online platforms. But the floodgates had been opened, and the safeguards are now as flimsy as a paper wall in a hurricane.
Very simply, Obama gave it a reboot in 2012. So, no matter how outrageous the propaganda may be, it's completely legal.
Propaganda, in other words, a false narrative for whatever specific purpose, is now much, much easier to perpetrate on the people.
This modernization didn't just make government content accessible. It unleashed a torrent of psychological warfare that's been weaponized by the mainstream media, creating a feedback loop of division and radicalization.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism, is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
Mm-hmm. We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
59 million mentally ill Americans, folks already struggling with anxiety, depression, or worse, who no longer have a mental health care system because it was gutted by progressive failures, being bombarded with carefully curated messages that amplify fear, distrust, and outrage. The mainstream media, already a battleground for corporate agendas, appealing to the organic demands of an American audience, gets outflanked by government-backed content, pitting neighbor against neighbor in a cultural civil war. And where does this lead?
Take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
East the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We have to keep our eye on the war, and everybody needs to pick up a weapon and get involved, because this is for the safety and lasting of the country.
The modernization of Smith-Munn has fueled a pipeline of radical ideas repackaged as academic theory. Professors, emboldened by access to globalist narratives, push anti-American, collectivist doctrines that demonize free markets and glorify centralized control. The result? Students graduate not as free thinkers, but as foot soldiers for a Marxist agenda, ready to tear down the very system that gave them the freedom to learn, ready to shoot someone like Charlie Kirk.
This is what's so frustrating. I tried to tell people in the higher levels of Republican leadership 3 or 4 years ago, there will be Marxists running the Democrat Party in the next 10 years.
Right.
And they said, oh, Charlie, you're overreacting. I said, no, I'm on these universities. I see what they're producing. It's worse than ever. There's another 1,000 Ocasio-Cortezes waiting to come in the lecture halls right now. And if we don't do something about that to raise our generation of freedom fighters up, we're going to have a big problem.
Y'all the people who are spreading propaganda, letting the rise of fascism and putting women down. That's not what it is. No, that's what it is.
We have to start calling his supporters racist as well. That MAGA symbol has come to represent something. It is the new Nazi symbol. It is the new hood.
Because they're not a party, right? They're Sinn Féin to the IRA. They're the PLO to Hamas. They're a dime store front
for a terrorist movement.
The Republican Party is basically a domestic terrorist cell at this point, and they should be treated as such.
There are elements of the GOP that are starting to look like the jihadists.
Not a political party. They're a white nationalist movement. They're a fascist threat to our nation. That's not hyperbolic. That's academic.
Would have once seemed hyperbolic, but it increasingly does feel like the Republican Party has become a death cult, and it's all about Donald Trump.
There is no alternative right now because the Republican Party project today is a fascist authoritarian project.
Fact is, Republicans in Congress are still in the grip of the ultra MAGA agenda.
Party of dupes, party of knuckleheads, party of weirdos, party of freaks. So that is a simple message. And underneath that, it's the party of nothing. It has become an authoritarian embracing cult. It is fascist.
Reinstate the Smith Month to its original purpose and enforce it as it was intended. This singular action will unravel the entire subversion machine, invading your very existence. Do it for Charlie. John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
All right, so that's very powerful report right there. So I want to say, pray for America, pray for the patriots in this country, and pray for your enemies because they're going to need it. If this continues, it's going to get bad. And, you know, there's all kinds of people talking about it now, militias and all kinds of stuff. So we really, really, really need to get it together here. We do. We need to find the right way to end the fascist movement of the liberal, whatever they're leftist crazy people is what they are. They call us all kinds of names like there's something wrong with us, but we just want freedom. We just want our country back to, what it once was. And so pray for that. And we'll see you on Friday. I may be here tomorrow night. I'll have to see if I can make it work. I really want to be here tomorrow night. Otherwise, I'll be here Thursday, Friday, probably Thursday, Friday. But God bless everybody. And please stay safe out there. Good night.